Today, we're taking a journey back in time to explore the incredible history of ancient Africa. But this isn't just a story about kingdoms and empires. The real main character of this story, it's the land itself, the continent's amazing geography.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with a big picture, the sheer variety of the continent. Then we'll see how that geography shaped early societies, track a massive human migration, and finally we'll zoom in on two powerful regions that were defined by their unique locations.
Okay, let's dive right in. To really get a handle on Africa's history, you first have to wrap your head around just how massive and varied the continent is. Seriously, it's a place of wild, breathtaking extremes. To put a number on it, we're talking about over 11 million square miles. That makes Africa the second largest continent on Earth. It's this enormous canvas where thousands upon thousands of years of human history have played out.
And just think about the different environments you can find here. On the one hand, you have these searing deserts with sand dunes towering hundreds of feet into the air. And on the other, you've got lush, tropical rainforests so dense you can barely walk through them. This place is anything but uniform. It's a true mosaic.
So all of this incredible diversity brings up a huge question, right? And it's the one that's going to guide us through this whole explainer. In a land with such dramatic contrasts, how did the geography itself literally write the course of human history?
Well, the answer is pretty fascinating. You see, these different environments basically carved out two totally different paths for the earliest human societies on the continent.
And this is the absolute key takeaway. Early societies didn't just happen to live in their environment, they were fundamentally formed by it. The climate, the soil, the food available, that wasn't just background scenery. No, it was the architect of their entire civilization.
So this led to two primary ways of life, and each one was a brilliant adaptation. In areas with plenty of water, like the savannas, people could settle down, farm, and build lasting communities. But in the drier regions, survival was all about mobility. You had to follow the herds and the changing seasons.
Let's dig into that nomadic lifestyle a little more. The term hunter-gatherer describes it perfectly. It's a life that's not dictated by a permanent address, but by a deep, intimate knowledge of the land and a constant search for food.
And to see what this looks like in the real world, just look at the Baka people of Central Africa. Their entire existence was perfectly tuned to the rhythm of the rainforest, from the wild foods they foraged to the clever poison-tipped arrows they crafted for hunting.
For thousands and thousands of years, these ways of life were the norm. But then, something happens. New technologies come along and completely disrupt the balance. And this brings us to one of the most important transformations in all of African history.
Two incredible innovations basically changed everything. First, the ability to actually cultivate crops like sorghum and yams. And second, the revolutionary technology of smelting iron. All of a sudden, people weren't just adapting to their environment, they could start to actively reshape it.
This is what set the stage for what we call the Bantu expansion. Now, don't picture an invasion or a conquest. Think of it more like a slow, powerful wave of migration that unfolded over many, many generations. Armed with iron tools to clear the land and farming knowledge to support bigger populations, Bantu-speaking peoples began to gradually expand. Imagine a family tree slowly branching out across a map. As they spread from their homeland in West and Central Africa, they followed two main paths. And over thousands of years, they carried their languages and their farming techniques with them, completely transforming the cultural and linguistic map of the entire southern half of the continent.
So while this huge agricultural expansion was reshaping one part of Africa, a totally different kind of power was rising in the north. This one wasn't built on expansion, but on controlling a vital resource, the Nile River. This was the mighty kingdom of Kush.
And you can tell a lot about Kush just by looking at what they built. They had this unique architectural style called Defufa, these absolutely massive temple complexes made from mud brick. I mean, this tells you right away that this was a highly organized and powerful civilization.
Now, their relationship with their famous neighbor, Egypt, was fascinating. It was this centuries-long power struggle, a real back and forth. Kush was no mere sidekick. They were rivals, they were equals, and at one incredible moment, the Kushite king Paye actually conquered Egypt and ruled as pharaoh.
And even after the Assyrians pushed them out of Egypt, Kush didn't just fade away. Not at all. They retreated south to their capital at Meroe and absolutely thrived. They developed their own unique writing system and became a huge center for iron production, creating this amazing culture that blended Egyptian influences with their own Nubian traditions.
All right, let's shift our focus now up to the coast, to a region whose geography put it smack dab in the middle of everything. It was the crossroads of Africa, Europe, and the Middle East, and that made it a hub of commerce and power for centuries.
Right from the beginning, North Africa was the source of some seriously valuable stuff. We're talking salt, gold, and ivory, all flowing from the interior of the continent. And you better believe every major power in the Mediterranean, from the Greeks to the Romans, wanted a piece of that action.
But it wasn't just about luxury goods. The coastal plains of North Africa were so unbelievably fertile that they actually became known as the breadbasket of Rome. This region produced the grain that was needed to feed the heart of the entire Roman Empire.
So while trade had always been a big deal, the Romans introduced one thing that completely revolutionized it: a single animal that would change everything.
And that game changer? It was the camel. This incredible animal could do what was once thought impossible: cross the vast Sahara Desert. It effectively turned what had been an impassable barrier into a bustling superhighway for commerce, linking the Mediterranean world with the incredible wealth of sub-Saharan Africa.
We've spent this whole time seeing how landscapes and climate were the driving forces that shaped the ancient world. And it really leaves us with a powerful question for our own time, doesn't it? As our planet's climate continues to change, how is this immense force of geography going to write the next chapter of human history?